Hey friends, Ari Koinuma here, and today I want to share with you my thoughts on Tool's Stinkfist and see what kind of songwriting wisdom we can find in this song. As you know, Tool is often known for their complex and progressive songs, but this one, relatively speaking, is fairly simple. It's kind of like an entry-level Tool song, but yet it's become one of their signature tunes, and there is a number of good songwriting techniques being applied here. So let's have a look and see what we can learn from them. The first piece of wisdom that I got from this song is to create a rhythmic motif. As you know, there are notes and chords in guitar riffs, and we tend to focus on them. But actually, the most important part of any music is the rhythm. And then when you have a distinct rhythm going on, that really helps the song to really stick to your head. And with this song, it's actually very simple. It goes like this. So it's a 4/4 beat, right? 1 2 3 4, 1 2 3 4. So that emphasis on the last beat is the rhythmic motif of this song, and you can see it permeating basically the whole song, and that really sort of anchors and defines this one. The second piece of wisdom I found here is to think variation and not repetition. As you saw, that main riff is actually very simple, and it's repeated here and there, but there's a lot of variations that are derived from the basic sort of the main motif. It goes something like this. As you saw, there are 3 variations just in the verse alone, from the main riff to the muted one to the loud one, and it makes the song more interesting when you create variations, because while the familiarity of the material is reinforced by having it, anchored around the same material, the variation creates more interest because you're not listening to the same thing over and over. Alright, the wisdom number 3 is related to the idea of variation, and that is to create dynamic contrast. In those variations, there's a section that is really soft and muted, and then there's soft that is really loud. And then even when you don't change anything else, right? You go from soft to loud, loud to soft, and then that creates a sense of contrast and drama, and that makes the song more interesting to listen to. It's really easy in riff-based rock to just come up with a guitar riff and you pound on it and you play the same thing over and over at the same volume many times, but think of the variation, think of dynamic difference, and to give the audience something new to listen to in different sections, and then that makes the song a lot more listenable, especially after repeated listens. Moving on, the fourth piece of wisdom that I want to share with you is to change the rhythmic structure. So the main riff and its variations carry us through the verses in this song, but when we get to chorus, we get something like this. Okay, so what we saw here is that instead of the familiar 4/4 pattern with the emphasis on the last beat, we get this 6/4 pattern, which is 3 chords on 2 bars or two beats each, and then creating a departure from the previously established pattern. And then a song could be simple in terms of the chords being used or the notes being used, but then when the rhythm does something unexpected, it really just makes the song a lot more interesting. So like I could be playing something really simple like right? So that is like very, very, very basic chords there, but then when you change the meter or the rhythmic structure, all of a sudden they actually sound listenable. The rhythm is the most important part of the song, so when you put creativity into the rhythm of the song, you don't have to work as hard in other areas to make the song interesting, and this is a really good thing to know when you're writing songs. Alright, the fifth and the final piece of wisdom that I will share with you today is to save the departure for the bridge. As you saw in most of this song, the harmonic sort of language is pretty simple. It's power chords, you know? But then when we get to the bridge or the climactic part of the song, we get something like this. Right, so what we got here is instead of power chord, this is basically a stacked fifth or the power chord with ninth on top. It's a chord that I use often in my own songwriting as well, and it just sounds very different from regular power chords. The bridge of the song is where you want to give the audience something unexpected. You've set up the sort of the expectation of verse chorus pattern, and then you comes to the bridge and you like give them something fresh, right? Something unexpected. It's a bit like watching a murder mystery and then you think that this guy is the murderer all along, but then oops, he turns up dead. He didn't end up being the murderer. That sort of thing. It's just something really unexpected and sense of surprise, and bridge is the right place for that. So you want to give them something that you haven't used before, and using different kind of chords all together is a great approach to that. So to sum up, today we looked at Tools Stinkfist and we discovered 5 pieces of songwriting wisdom in there, and these are all very basic ideas that anybody can apply into your own songwriting and music making. And then while this song, as I discussed, you know, harmonically and structurally it's fairly simple, but then Tool just put in, you know, good bits of solid songwriting techniques, and then they turned it into a signature piece. So the same thing can happen to your next song as well. Alright, that's it for today. Thanks again for watching. If you have any questions or comments, leave it below and then I'll respond to it as I can. Thanks. I'll see you next time. Alright, if you enjoyed this video, I want you to know that I'm looking for some inaugural members to my Patreon program, and then for as little as $1 a month you get basically all my recorded music in CD quality, and you get to watch me write songs, and I'll share with you like raw unedited sort of in progress pieces, so you can give me feedback on how my own songwriting is going, and we can collaborate on that level. And I love to have you in there and you know, get to know you and to work with you. Alright, so please click on the link that I have in the description. And finally, I have other videos of this vein. I have covered classics by the Beatles and Led Zeppelin and other great acts. I'm open to what songs you want me to look at next to see, you know, their songwriting secrets and stuff. So again, leave me a comment and then I'll consider it. Alright, thanks.